Everybody, welcome back to Omens. I'm your host Ryan, AM Air pronouns, and it's June. Um, second week of June. Yeah, and today we're talking about the Page of Wands, episode 30. Um, we were doing a 3 thing, and then now it's not, so yeah. Um, yeah. It's been crazy eclipse season for me. Made me really freaking tired and cranky. It was not fun, especially after just getting a brand new cat at the same time. So, yeah. Um, they like to stay up late, but he's adjusting. It's been a couple weeks. Alright, but anyway, uh, it's summertime, which makes it the perfect time to be talking about the Page of Wands. Um, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But so first off, I have the uh, my mystical cat tarot for kind of a frame of reference for just talking about the pages. Because pages don't have a number, obviously, so I had to replace with something. So the pages are kind of the youngest members of the court. They're messengers or apprentices. Um, it, they're the younglings type deal. And we have here in the Mystical Cats Tarot, we've got not quite a kitten anymore. He's a little bit older than that. Kind of looking at a brightly lit candle and reaching with a paw towards it. It's, in the Mystical Cats, this is known as the Fire Kitten. A little bit bigger than like a full blown kitten, but he's still a young little thing. And he's like, "Oh, what's this pretty shiny thing? Let me touch it." And he's going to learn very quickly that you should not touch the bright, pretty, shiny thing that is hot. Um, but yeah, they're young. They're bound to make mistakes. They're learning. That's the biggest thing about pages is they're learning. Um, like I said, and when they come up in a reading, it can be either about the court cards are characters, so it can either be about people or archetypes or a certain inner person, a certain type of energy to embody. Um, So in like the Page of Wands, it'd be that young curiosity. It's like embodied curiosity, a curious person, or a messenger. Some people call the knights messengers. I tend to more associate pages with messengers, just because it's like you're not gonna send a knight. Um, if you're sending a message to someone, okay, if it's a very important message, you're probably going to send it with a knight. If it's a, hey, run this to the cook down in the kitchen to let her know that I don't want carrots in my soup, you're going to send a page, not a knight. So it's kind of the small, brief messages of, hey, the universe has got information for you, but it's usually something kind of small, kind of quick, like, hey, maybe don't touch that, or maybe be a little bit more curious, depending on it. If it's like an important message, it's probably going to come from a knight, like, oh, gods, the Brits are coming, or something, or they're about to, or so and so's about to, is coming up against, is this kingdom is attacking our northern border or something. Important messages go with knights, minor messages go with pages, or messages you need to get somewhere really fast um, and close by. But all messages have to go fast. So that's kind of the pages, our youngest members of court. All right. And like I said, this being summer, perfect time to talk about it was because in the Celestial Tarot I have here, pages are associated with the seasons. So the Page of Wands, or in this case, the Princess of Wands, is associated with summer, the season of summer. So she is associated with all the fire signs of the zodiac. Leo, Aquarius, or sorry, the summer zodiac signs, which in the northern hemisphere are, um, totally know what that is. Oh, wrong one. Okay, the summer signs in the northern hemisphere, sorry, are Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. I confused myself because I was looking at the southern hemisphere signs. In the southern hemisphere, summer is associated with the zodiac signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Um, but either way, either hemisphere, in the summer, the sun is at its highest point. It's a period of growth, of warmth, of light, innocence, youth. It's associated with the maiden and with the warrior, or not warrior, the young, I forget the youth, the maiden and the youth, basically. It's associated with innocence and the fullness of life, just being young, being youthful and happy, and just ready to go out there, full of life, just brimming to do stuff and just wanting to do more and more and more. The fullness of life. In the summer, nature is abundant and creative. Everything's just kind of ready to go and to bloom, and usually more blooms happen in the spring than in the summer, but summer is the time when it's hot and you slow down faster, but you also get up faster. It's like, okay, let's go do stuff. Okay, I need a break. Give me some lemonade. Okay, ready to go do the next thing. Ready to go swimming. Ready to go yada yada yada. You kind of get the idea. It's the time when everybody's like out and about and doing stuff. It's also the time when you need the most help in like say in America with the agricultural. Gods, why did I do this? With the agricultural, the reason why we have summer breaks as opposed to a lot of the rest of the world is because um, in agriculture, summer is the time when the fields need tending, crops need tending, it's the animals need taking care of. Everything has to be done, like everything is moving, stuff is growing and blooming and yada yada yada. And so it's the biggest time, which is why we have summer break as in between a school year, as opposed to starting in January and ending in December, which I think some other countries do. Or I don't know how long their school years are. It might be the whole year, which holy cow. Um, I think there might be a riot if we tried that. Even though technically, since we're not an agricultural nation anymore, we could get away with it. All right. But anyway, so that's the celestial deck. So as pages or princesses in this deck are associated with summer. And the reason I keep bringing this one up is because I do like the fact that the celestial is basically takes modern astrology and associates it with the tarot as opposed to the traditional astrology associations with the tarot, which I love both of them. And you've seen with me with some of these cards, I'm like, I can see it, but dang, that's a very different. Um, so because, well, contemporary astrology, like for example, the biggest obvious example is in the decans, or the 10 degree slots of each zodiac sign. So in traditional astrology, um, take oh, I don't have one with me. Let's take Taurus for example. So I don't have a pen on me. So the three decans of Taurus, so 0 to 9, 10 to 19, and 20 to 29. So in traditional astrology, that first decan, let's see, we go Mars. Uh, Let me look this up real fast. Okay, I looked it up because I had to friggin' remember. So in the decans, for example, in contemporary or modern astrology, each sign, say like Taurus, for example, like I was saying, is an earth sign. So in contemporary astrology, each of the decans would be ruled by an earth sign. So like the first decan of Taurus would be double Taurus. So it'd be ruled by Venus, who is the ruler of Taurus as it is. So it'd be the 0 to 9 would be Taurus, the Taurus decan of Taurus, ruled by Venus, ruled doubly by Venus, basically. The second decan would be the um, Virgo decan of Taurus, which would be ruled by Mercury or Chiron, depending, but usually it's assumed Mercury when it comes to decans, I suppose. Because Mercury is still technically considered the ruler of Virgo, even though a lot of people are switching it to Chiron. So, but we'll stick with Mercury for the sake of simplicity. So that second decan, that 10 to 19, would be ruled by Mercury in Taurus. So Venus would be the secondary ruler. The third decan of 20 to 29 would be ruled by would be Capricorn decan of Taurus, so it would be ruled by Saturn. So Saturn and Taurus. However, so that's contemporary modern astrology. However, in the Golden Dawn Association of Astrology, or and so therefore the traditional astrology and its associations with the tarot, they follow the Chaldean order of planets as opposed to, oh, all the earth signs are in all the earth signs type deal. So in the Chaldean decans, Taurus, the first decan of Taurus, would, instead of being ruled by Venus, would be ruled by Mercury. So the Chaldean goes by the planets themselves instead of, oh, this is all these earth signs in one earth sign. It goes by, no, we go by the order of planets. It's not such and such an earth or another. So the first decan of 0 to 9 would actually be ruled by Mercury as opposed to the second decan. It'd be the first. So it would be Mercury in Taurus as opposed to Venus in Taurus. And the second 10 to 19 would be ruled by the moon in Taurus instead of Mercury. So the moon in Taurus, and the third decan would be ruled by Saturn, which actually it lines up with modern astrology too. And it does sometimes, like in Aries, the first two decans, because in the astrology it starts with Mars as opposed to Saturn, which is the traditional Chaldean order. It starts with Mars instead of Saturn, so the first for which for Aries kind of makes sense. So it starts with Aries ruling planet as the first decan of the first zodiac sign is Mars type deal. It's a fascinating little thing, and that's why I like both of them, because they both make sense. So, excuse me. So as we move into the next part of this, the astrology, whereas in the celestial contemporary astrology, I'm calling it, it's the Page of Wands is associated with summer, with a season. In traditional astrology, the pages are the personification of elements, which does kind of tie in with the seasons because summer is associated with fire, and the pages, the Princess of Wands is all the summer signs. Not all the fire signs, however, just all the summer signs. There's changes, as we've seen. But in traditional astrology, the Page of Wands is associated with, is the personification of fire itself. They're not the element of fire, they're the personification of it. That's very important to remember. There's two different things. They're not the element, they're the personification of the element. Okay, those are two different things. Aces are associated with the element itself, pages are the personification of it. And I have my Gilded Tarot here, which is just kind of a traditional medieval page-looking person with the tight skinny pant, leggings, the tunic, and the big-ass sleeves. Orange and red are his colors. There's orange trees in the background. He's holding a wand, kind of looking at it as he steps forward. Looking fascinated by it, honestly, and it could be a she, actually. So, excuse the gnat. He decides he wants his 15 minutes of fame. All right, so the personification of fire, which means the pages are associated with the zodiac signs, which are the fire signs. So in this case, the Page of Wands is associated with all the fire signs as opposed to the summer signs. So the fire signs, of course, are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So the page's enthusiasm for spiritual development and learning when they come. Now, actually, I'm going to step back a sec, because the big thing I want to have here is something I just learned with the pages, which I thought was fascinating, is so back to that ace being the element of fire and the pages being the personification of it. Well, duh. I feel kind of stupid for just realizing this. The wands, the wand the page is holding is the wand that is being given in the Ace of Wands. Same thing with all the other suits. And this ties a bit more to Kabbalah, actually. So maybe I'll actually, you know what, I'll save that because it is in the Kabbalah, not the astrology, but I'm just so excited about it. So anyway, so the personification of fire is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm for spiritual development because fire is associated with our soul. Our soul, our will, our being. So like water is our emotions, air is our mind, earth is our body, fire is um, our soul and our spirit, our will, whatever you want to call it. So it's and the pages are they're new, they're brand new, they're all worked up, ready to go, excited for all things. So this is enthusiasm for the spiritual development, for getting into new things, for learning things in the spiritual realm, things that light their soul on fire. Like we like to say, things that get them fired up. Those are things in our language, like things that fire up your soul. It's like that's literally our language. The page connects the wands, the suit of wands, to the world of spirit and creativity. They're the keeper of the flame, found in the Ace of Wands again. So the page is handed that spark, that creation is like, oops, is like, oh my gosh. And even in this thing, you can see that awe on her face. She's just like, holy cow, this thing is so cool. And she's kind of holding it kind of carefully, like, I could do so much with this. Like, this is amazing. Her head's just filled with ideas. They're just like, fuck, the things I can do. I'm so excited. So many things I can just do. And the pages, the page of wands is burning with passion. Burning with a passion, and the thing about the fire is they can be that type of person that kind of lies low like the embers on a coal, like that passion can be tamped down and they're kind of just holding out waiting, but as soon as that spark, as soon as fuel is added, that enthusiasm, that ideas can just erupt into a conflagration that's hard to contain, maybe even impossible. It's like they're just like, ideas must do now, and they're all over the place, and you're just like, fuck, okay, not even gonna, okay, just get out of their way type deal. It's like you can't stop them. They're gone, and it's like they might lay low for a good while, but as soon as something sparks their creativity, they're up, gone, and moving there. So again, that personification of fire, that fiery soul energy. All right, so to move on to the Kabbalah, because I'm really fucking excited about this thing. Pages, I have my good tarot here, and we've got kind of a very fun looking lady in the sort of in the background, the page of fire. She's kind of dressed in traditional, I'm going to assume Chinese. Um, I'm not very good on Asian dress modes, so I apologize if it's wrong. It looks Chinese to me from what I do know. She's got her hair up in buns and it's kind of split down the middle with color, like one side's green, the other side's purple. So she's got a green and purple thing. So it's fun, it's creative. It's even her dress is green and purple. She's got kind of almost a marionette. I forget the exact name. That clown, the Harlequins. Duh. You'd think I know that. Kind of the Harlequin look going on. She's fun, she's creative, she's got butterflies all flying around, there's lanterns in the trees, and there's a white tiger by her lying down next to her feet. So again, that passion and the brutality of fire when it gets out of control. But right now it's in control, and so it's lying tame at her feet. It's like if you train this fire and use and teach it to do what you want it to do, it can be safe. However, if you're not careful, it is still, however, you need to remember it is still a wild thing. Fire and the tiger are wild beasts, and if you're not careful, you will get hurt. So in Kabbalah, the pages are, and okay, so caveat. In traditional Kabbalah, the pages are associated with Malkuth or Malkut, the final realm, the lowest realm, the realm associated with the physical world and the world of action and doing. Um, I don't ascribe to that. I actually, like I said, the first book I picked up about this was Isabel Rideau Kleigman's, and she's got a different way. And she points out the fact that Malkut is the realm of doing. It's like you don't want to put an inexperienced young person down in the realm where things have to actually get done, where you have to know stuff and you have to be on top of stuff. You got to be the leader in charge type deal. It's like, why would you put the pages down there, all the way down there? Um, so usually the pages are associated with the final realm of Earth, whereas the kings are associated with the very top fiery realm of Atzilut. Um, again, I have to say that yes, I agree with her completely because it's like the pages are new. They're that idea, that spark of creation, that wildfire that's like, oh my gosh, so many things I could do, so many, and they're still wild things. They're just kind of tamed again. They're just slowly getting tamed, but they're not domesticated yet. And they're children. They're just excited about all kinds of things and want to do more. Um, so I'm gonna defer to I like her Rideau Kleigman's association of pages at the top, kings at the bottom, because it's like that makes sense. You want the experienced, level-headed person doing the things, doing the action, putting things into actuality. You want the experienced, level-headed, okay, we've looked at all the sides and we've planned this out completely person actually doing the action. You don't want the, oh my gosh, we could do this and this and this and this and this and this doing the stuff. That's just, why did you do that the opposite way? I don't understand older occultists. But I do have a book that I've made from one of them. So the tarot ceremonial magic. So once I start getting through that a bit more, I might understand, might even change my opinion a bit. But we'll see. I kind of doubt it because I'm getting to a point where I'm actually setting and cementing some opinions. So it's just an interesting thing, not being so very easily changeable. Speaking of changeable pages, Atzilut is the realm of emanation. And the realm of emanation at Atzilut is actually associated with the suit of wands, so it's perfect for the page of fire. Um, lost my place. It's the place of creation. It's the world of causes. It's the world where things first start. It's the world where you have that light bulb moment. The ideas come out and all that. And each Sephiroth here in the realm of Atzilut is associated with a name of God. So Atzilut is the place of pure divinity, pure divine consciousness, in its many. Um, why do I have Leo? I think it's associated with the zodiac sign Leo. Maybe that's why I have that sign there. So it's a place where inspiration, where inspiration is emanated into being. For example, the gift of each suit is given to its page. The wand is the gift of the suit of wands, so that ace of wand is the gift, and it's gifted to the page. So here the page is handed the wand, which represents intuition. So, we're going to start over with intuition. So the page is being gifted and given this wand, and they're like, whoa, I could do so many things. I've got the inspiration. I could start over. I could start something new with this. There's just so much inspiration. That's the world of Atzilut, the realm of emanation, that first spark of an idea, that first, I have ideas. I could do this. I could do that. So many things. Yeah, so that's the Kabbalah. And yeah, I loved that imagery that I hadn't even thought of before, and I was like, God damn it, that makes so much fucking sense, and I love it. The ace is given to the page. Mind blown. That, which leads me to another thing that I just thought of. That progression from ace to 10 is the journey of the page to the king. I'm gonna have to do something with this. I'm gonna have to really think on that, but holy crap, that makes so much sense and I love it. And yes, this is why I do this podcast. So I can come up with shit like that. So I can discover shit like that. That's mind blown. Fuck yes. I love it. Okay, but moving on. Because I'm trying to get these done in like 45 minutes now, so alright, so the next part is the Kabbalistic angel. So the angel associated with the Page of Wands is Yaratel, whose name means the preventing god. The preventing god, the one that goes, whoa, wait, stop. So, we were just getting excited, getting worked up in here, and suddenly he comes up and goes, wait a fucking second. No fun, I tell you what. Alright, Yaratel, bleh, is a Dominion. So the second, third order, third lowest on the hierarchy of angels, I think, if I remember correctly, which I probably don't. Their psalm is Psalm 140 and 2, chapter 140, verse 2. And what they do, what Yaratel, I keep wanting to say Yetarel, it's Yaratel. They confound the wicked and slanderers and give deliverance from enemies, rules over the propagation of light and civilization and liberty. So, kind of a good one for the Page of Wands, actually. Ow, that fucking knot in my back. People who are being assholes, the wicked, the slanderers, the one that want to tear you down, and he's like, whoa, nope, you ain't doing that shit. Fuck no. It's like prevents the slanders, and gives deliverance from enemies. So it's like, hey, these guys are busting your ass. Let's get the fuck out of here. Like, we're gonna say fuck no to them. And Yeratel rules over the propagation of light, civilization, and liberty. So that's actually perfect for the wands, the fire, the inspiration, that knowledge and light. I mean, come on, fire is light. And if you ever want to see something cool, look up the picture of the lit match without a shadow. Well, the match has a shadow, the fire doesn't. Because, like, oh my god, duh, fire doesn't have a shadow, what the fuck? But we're so used to solid things we see having shadows that it's like, wait, what? Seriously. I was like, God, it's all the fire I've dealt with in my life, and I never noticed it doesn't have a shadow. What the fuck? Excuse me. I'm getting all worked up and excited over this. So, the propagation of life, civilization, and liberty, so freedom, knowledge even, because with knowledge comes civilization or something like that. But yeah. Well, yeah. With knowledge comes civilization. Those born under Yeratel love peace, justice, science, and arts, and will distinguish themselves in literature. So, a lot of words here. A lot of words, inspiration, it's kind of in the mind. Justice, science, love, peace, justice, science, and the arts. God, the inspiration given through the wands. Yeratel is the sole guardian of those born from 8:40 to 9 a.m. The moral guardian of those born January 28th, April 15th, June 26th, September 6th, and November 17th. And the physical guardian for those born July 28th to August 1st. Yeratel. Not bad. I don't know. I'd say you can remember the name and get it in the right order. Like, hey, these guys are being douchebags to me. Could you maybe kick them out a little bit? Because angels are messengers and helpers, and yeah, they're actually pretty cool. All right, and to go to the absolute complete flip side of that, the fantasy world tarot being associated with the Page of Wands is the Necromancer. And interestingly enough, I was recently listening to Witchcraft Off the Beaten Path, and a couple of her recent episodes have been to do with death and dying, or at least the ones I'm slowly catching up on because of the way I do my podcast is weird. Or it makes sense. I don't know which, or both. But so I was listening to her most recent episodes have to do with death and dying, and for more importantly, like the first one, part one was an interview with Mortellus, the author of Do I Have to Wear Black, which I haven't read it. I'm really not interested in it. Death culture and necromancy and dying and all that, not really my thing. I just one, I have a healthy respect / a slight fear of death, but that's just general because fear of lack of control. Duh. All our fears are apparently. Somebody pointed. I can't remember where I heard it, but there was this. Somebody was saying something about how all fears are pretty much just have a. Actually, it was from the podcast Lore. Um, that's where it was from. Most fears can be traced back to a fear of lack of control or loss of control. I'm like, yep, that explains why dying is one of my fears. I am such a fucking control freak, and death is the biggest loss of control ever. I can't even say how I want to die because fuck if I know beyond. I maybe want it to be kind of. I don't know whether I want it to be fast or I want it to be slow. I don't even know that. So yeah, fear of death. So death, dying, necromancy, not really, just not really my thing. And I think I'd be better with it given the fact that I'm pretty sure I've lived like a few 100 billion odd lives. I know I've lived a lot. So you think I'd be better at it, but apparently, yeah, memory wipes are a bitch. But anyway, so necromancer. Necromancy in general is it's not all about raising dead bodies from the ground, as fun as that would be, unfortunately, and making them your slaves and thralls or whatever, because unfortunately, real life magic doesn't quite work like that, sadly. Most necromancy, as it is done nowadays, for sure, is the practice of magic involving communication with the dead for the purpose of divination, hidden knowledge, or to use them as a weapon. Which, how you would do that without the corpse itself, I'm not 100% sure, but that might have been. I did get this from Wikipedia. Just FYI. But from what I do know about necromancy from like listening to Mortellus and all that, and a few other people, it has to do with working with the dead, being someone who works with the dead, either preparing them for the journey to the next life before they die, during their death, after their death. Morticians could be considered a form of death worker, necromancer, except for they're usually not doing the whole magic part of it. Most of them anyway. Um, Anyone who works with the dead and dying. The other part of necromancy, mediums could be is I believe a form of necromancy because they're specifically communicating with the dead, with the spirits of the dead, to gain knowledge and information, to connect them to their loved ones, to communicate to them for their loved ones' sake, type deal. So necromancy just has to do with magically working with the dead. The oldest literary account of necromancy in our history is actually located in the what's the name? Homer's Odyssey, when Odysseus summons Odysseus under the instruction of Circe, summons shades. He's trying to speak to a specific one, but he gets a bunch. So that's the first literary account we have of necromancy as a practice. Mediumship, basically. He was trying to summon a specific, I think, former prophet or something. Got a bunch of other spirits at the same time before he finally located the one who was grumpy about being disturbed, which, I mean, who wouldn't be, honestly? It's like, you know what? I'm dead. Leave me the fuck alone. Jeebus. No, no, you guys gotta learn something, honestly. So that's our oldest account of necromancy. And um, here in the fantasy world tarot, of course, it's the warlock looking dude in robes with the red and black laughing as lightning crackles in the sky, and he's got magic pulling the skeleton up from the open grave. You know, he's actually in a pretty clean shape for having dug that grave out, because he's not just pulling that skeleton through the ground, but there's a hole. Um, who knows? Maybe he had someone else do it. But yeah, it's the whole magic thing. It's the raising up of the dead, and I mean, now we do got to try to fit this into the Page of Wands it is, and I gotta say the lady who does Vera Putrak is the author, and she's got some interesting ideas. I do love a lot of her decks, though. She's got quite a few of them. Check them out. I check her out on Instagram, and I think you can find all her decks on MakePlayingCards.com. But anyway, I gotta try to fit this. So if we think about this card in particular, there's lightning in the background because, you know, flash of energy, inspiration, just all this. There's this dude who's like laughing his head off because he's like, oh my gods, I'm actually pulling a skeleton. I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. He's excited. He's doing something new. Now, as to what he's going to do with the skeleton or the zombie in the background, there's a kind of a hand back here. So he's raised a couple things. It's like what he's gonna do with it, who the fuck knows? But he's excited and laughing because holy shit, I just did this. Um, so we've got kind of that energetic, like, fuck yes, I've got all this power and I'm gonna do something with it. It's like, okay, maybe this isn't the best use of it, depending on what you're planning to do, but you definitely got the power. Um, This is one of the ones that I have a hard time pulling this into tarot as it is, but when it does come up in a read, it usually has its place. That's the thing with most tarot cards, even if you maybe can't really quite place them by themselves, and that can make it difficult for a read. When it comes up in a read, sometimes it makes sense, it clicks. It's like, oh, that's why that's there. That's why it's like that type deal. Um, Honestly, with this, I just associate with the raw power that the page is given. The page has been given. It's like there's no real discipline or knowledge or a plan, even maybe, but there's enthusiasm. There's the power. There's the beginning of an idea type deal. It's like you might not be able to do much with this right now, but you've got it, and you can work and discipline yourself into doing more with it later on. Alright, so our final section is, of course, the traditional. So I have my vice versa tarot for this. So we got a shirtless dude in the desert holding a staff. He's got like full-blown pants and boots with a cloak, but no shirt again. Bright sunny day, dry. It looks like flat land with some mountains in the distance. That side it's now night. And he's still standing in the same place, except for he actually, whereas in this side, both his feet are planted firmly, like he's just like, oof, standing for a second and getting ready to go. And that side, one of his heels is actually up off the ground, like he's actually moving finally, like he's waiting for night to move. And there's a phoenix or a firebird, kind of off to the side, trailing fire out of his campfire. So he was in this spot for a bit and made a campfire and anything, and now he's actually ready to move on now that the firebird's there. So anyway, so in the traditional upright, enthusiastic, unsure, creative, stumbling, happy, full of adventure and hope, confident, honest to a fault, passionate, and charismatic are some of the keywords associated with this card in its upright position. So he's, I mean, I'd assume I'd say charismatic with that body. And that's just me. Um, Definitely got that confidence, but he is still kind of like he's swayed forward and he's got his hand on the wand. He's all confident and ready to go, but he's not moving. He's kind of like, my feet are still holding me back. Like he's not sure quite where to go yet. He's like, he's ready to go. He wants to go, but he's just like, where the fuck do I go? What do I do with this? What do I do with this? He's even staring at the wand like, what the fuck do I do with you? What's next? What's the next step? Which is why on this side, on that side, he's built a campfire. He's like, okay, it's night. I got clear open sky. It's not so sunny and blazing. I actually think I know where I want to go. I've now got a elemental in front of me to help lead the way. I'm actually ready to get moving. I'm ready to go. So there's been stumblings. There's creativity, but he's happy. He's full of adventure and life, ready to go. And the inverse or the reverse, or the shadow side, if you don't use reversals, it's the self-esteem lost. He's grounded, pouty, feet dragging, inertia, depressed, aggressive, and nasty. It's like, I had all these ideas, all these plans, and they all just fell through. Well, I'm not going anywhere. Fuck this shit. I'm pissed off, done, just fuck, guess I can't do anything. I have been in that spot more often than I care to think about. Um, I might still be a page. What a shock. What a shock. Um, I definitely am still a page. I actually haven't associated myself with the court card in a long time. I usually associate myself with the Queen of Swords, though. But I think that's just the Libra part. But, who knows. But we've all been here. It's like, well, shit. Everything just fell through. Fuck it all. So here, this unsurety, on this side, it's like all that unsurety just came crashing down. And he's like, "Oh fuck, what do I do now? I don't know where to go. I have no confidence." This in this reverse, it's like he's just completely unconfident, no confidence, no self confidence. He's just like, "What do I even fucking do?" And the that side, I'd say he's just kind of given up and hopeless, and like even though he's got a guide there to kind of show him the way, he's like, oh, "Gods, well, I might as well. I'm still here. I might as well keep going." But he might actually even turn back with this reverse. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I'm gonna turn around and go home, type deal. So that is the Page of Wands. Um, excuse me. I hope you all enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed doing it, of course. Hope it all makes sense. If you had any comments or questions, type them down below in the comment section because I like comments. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell or whatever it is that does the whole alert you when a new video comes up. Because I'm gonna keep going. Sucks sometimes, and I feel like nobody watches or cares. But you know what? I'm gonna keep going. If for me, then if for me, if mostly just for me, if nothing else. Um, but yeah, if you like it, hit the like button. Comment. If you got major questions or you want to get a read, you can find me. Oh, Jesus. I'm really yawning a lot. I swear, eclipse season fucked me over. Where was I at? Wow. bagsandOmens@gmail.com. I almost gave you the wrong email address. To email me, you can find me on Facebook at Bags and Omens, and I got all my services up there with price listings and appointment availabilities and shit for tarot reads. Yeah. So that's it for today, I suppose. So have a great rest of your whatever. Enjoy your lives. Go on, be enthusiastic. Make something new. Find your own Page of Wands energy when it crops up, and just use it. Do something with it. Have fun. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. So, like I said, have a great rest of your whatever, and I'll see you next week when I dive into Gemini. So, all right. Bye.